Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Cross, and I am here with Dixie Andelin Forsyth for a feminine moment. And we are going to have Dixie answer a question that you received on the website, correct?
Mhm. I did. I answered it, but I wanted to share it with the bigger group because I think it's a situation, a question that some women find themselves in. And I thought it wasn't rare enough that I thought we might address it on the group. So
Right.
if with your permission, I will read the question.
Please do.
She says, what makes an older man want to remarry someone with kids and take on a whole new family when he's used to his quiet time, freedom, and not lonely because he lives with his best friend from high school who is like his brother? I'm a single 44-year-old mother with younger kids. My boyfriend of 2 years is 10 years older, has been single a long time, kids are grown, is used to being very independent and set in his ways. That being said, he's very good to me. We see each other about 2 times a week. He has slowly let me in his heart, and I know he loves me. I know how you feel, but we are intimate with each other now. I definitely let him be the leader and pursuer in the relationship. He never brings up marriage, but does say things like he hopes we have many more years together. There's no one else for him, etc. He knows I want marriage from conversations in the beginning and told me then that we want the same things. I do not bring it up now. I show him acceptance, admiration, and respect daily by phone if I don't see him. How do I inspire him to propose? Does he need to feel tension or sense of urgency over losing me?
Okay. So we already discussed our answer to this, or your answer, and how I kind of backed it up with my life experience.
Well, yeah, when we were previewing this and I first told you about it, you said you had an experience that was very similar to this that you wanted to share. And then I'll add a couple of things.
Excellent. All right. So I have a similar situation story to tell. In my 30s, I had 3 young children. I was 36 years old, dating a gentleman who ended up being 15 years older than me, even though he told me he was like 6 years older than me. But at first, it was very exciting. He had money. He seemed to really like me and the kids. We did exciting dates and nice fancy restaurants, and of course we were sleeping together. So as we're intimate, my hormones, the oxytocin, right?
Well, it isn't really a hormone, it's a chemical, but
the chemical, whatever, is going, and I'm feeling love toward him. And it was very, very confusing because I wasn't hearing "I love you" back, although I wanted to say it to him. He was regularly calling me, seeing me 2 or 3 times a week. And by the end of the first year, he still hadn't asked me to marry him. It was just, and so eventually what I did was kind of shut down my heart because I knew, okay, he isn't going to ask me to marry him. If I want to continue to see him, at least I'm not going to be lonely. So I kept up for another year. So it was a 2-year relationship before I really ended it because it was getting too painful for me to continue to see this person who I knew was never going to commit to me and the kids. And I knew I wanted to get remarried. I knew I was too young. And it was funny because that was soon after that I met my now husband. But I think there was 2 parts to this. Number one, when we are intimate with these men, we develop these loving feelings. And honestly, I love Jeff so much more than this man. But I had loving feelings toward him because of the intimate relationship we were having, number one. And 2, because I needed help. There was a need that I had for
security,
the stability of a man in my life. Honestly, just to hear his voice in the house after being a single mom for so many years, and it was just me and my children, when I heard a man's voice in the house, it just warmed my heart. It gave me a sense of security. And those are not reasons to love someone and marry someone.
You have to be pretty in touch with your feelings, which it sounds like you were.
I was.
Recognize, and not everybody is really knowing exactly what do you feel at any particular given time, except I feel attracted to this person. She asked about how do I inspire him to propose? Well,
we talked about, it's like I would have, if I had to do over again, I wouldn't have slept with him, and he probably would have been gone, and I wouldn't have wasted 2 years.
I read this question to Bob, who is a professional therapist, as everybody knows. And he said, oh, well, he's seeing her twice a week because that's how often he wants sex.
Right.
Which I had not totally connected to right then. Oh, of course. And sex is a very powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, we don't know him, we don't know her.
Right.
But a fantastic test of this is to say to him, you know, I don't feel comfortable doing this, sleeping with you before we're married. Just realize I don't feel comfortable with this, and see what he does. Does he stay?
Yeah.
It's a great test. Does he stay? Does he go? If he leaves, you never had him in the first place.
Well, also for me, does she know what she wants? Because for me, at the end of 2 years, I'm like, okay, I was 38. I knew I wanted to get married. And it wasn't going to be him. And so I ended it, and it wasn't easy. But like, if you know what you want, if you want marriage, why can't you say, it's been 2 years, I really want to get remarried.
2 years is kind of a long time to have this.
When you're older.
Yeah, it's true. When you're older.
It is.
You're bringing up a really good point. When you're older, but really even at any age, but especially when you're older, people, some family members that I've known who have been divorced and start dating, they're under no illusion that part of the reason they're dating is to find another spouse. When you're really young and you're just dating, you might be getting to know people, having fun. You may say, I'm not even ready for marriage. But when you're older, if you're dating and it goes on that long, it's not really appropriate to date for a long time when you're older. The idea is you're supposed to be dating to find a companion.
Yeah.
And everybody knows it, but you don't just usually say on the first date, hey, you know, I know you're looking, I'm looking.
Yeah.
you know,
I ended it because I knew I deserved better. Here I was giving him all of my love, appreciation, admiration, everything, every part of me, and getting really nothing in return. And so
you sold yourself too cheap.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to teach women. We are of so much value. Don't sell yourself cheap. And you can do the rat filter.
Yes.
The basic rat filter with any guy you date is, I don't do that before I'm married, and see what he does.
Yes.
If his interest in you is so superficial that he says, well, I'm out of here, then the attraction was mostly chemical and physical, and you're just as well off, because this man, and we don't know, he might step up to the plate. We don't know.
And does he know that she wants to get married? Maybe she's.
Oh yeah, she said, we talked about it.
Okay.
And he said we want the same things, which is kind of vague.
Yeah.
Because she did, you know, they talked about things that they both wanted. Marriage was one of them, but then he hasn't acted on it because he hasn't had to. And that being said, we talked before, both of us have known men who have been married before and do marry younger women who still have small children.
That was, when I married Jeff.
Yeah, and I've known people, honorable men, who have done that, but they don't date for 2 years before they do.
Oh, no. We're like engaged in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's more often like that.
Yes.
They say, okay, we're both sort of the same mindset, let's get together, and they take on raising other men's children because they are honorable guys that want to, and the reason they do is because they want that stable, loving relationship in a family. This guy he doesn't have everything he wants. Maybe he has everything he wants, but he doesn't have everything a really great guy wants, because they want that family. And she says he has, he's independent, set in his ways. He's good to me. Of course he's good to her. He's getting what he wants. There's no friction.
Yeah, and there's no work there, because Jeff, when I married Jeff, he became their stepdad. He was in it with me through the custody battles. He was in it with me through their sicknesses and illnesses and mine. And I was there for him and his kids. He had 2 boys. And so, and Jeff said I knew I loved Jeff first date. I knew it. It was 2 or 3 weeks in, he said, I love you first. He wouldn't stop. He was so sweet. My voice changed in the beginning when I talked to him. My kids would laugh so hard. I mean, I didn't have to fight for anything. It was already there. So I just think too, when it's the right guy, it just happens. You don't have to fight for it, do you?
Well, people are different, and no situation is exactly identical, but some things remain consistent. And this question, I feel so bad for this
I
young
know.
mother because she wants all the right things, and I'm not convinced he does.
I know. And
And
I
so,
feel I've been that woman, and like
yeah,
with a man, like sort of in that situation because I wanted the security and I was kind of clinging to that hope. But
test him. Test him. If you
test
want
him
to find
with,
out if he's the real deal, do a
yeah,
very simple test and say, I've realized I've done this. I just don't feel comfortable with this anymore.
yeah.
It just makes me feel uncomfortable. And
Well,
see,
can she also, Dixie, say, I want to get married. I'm 44. I have these kids. I love you. Why? I want to get married. I want to be I'm married in my life.
she, it's too assertive for me.
Not really.
I would say because
How could she say that?
that's like
No,
proposing. Why should she propose to this guy?
no. In a feminine way, how can she state what she wants in life? I don't think it's a proposal.
But
She's saying what she wants.
well,
She
isn't it
wants to
kind
get
of obvious?
married.
Seriously, isn't it obvious they're dating?
She wants to get married.
It's
Maybe
too
she's never
old.
said that.
She's too old to do that casual stuff, and so is he. Should you state that?
It's
I don't
not
think you should.
obvious. I think that she does need to state it. I think she needs to tell him.
Well, I would do the rat filter and see what happens.
Start with cutting him
Start
off.
with the rat filter, see what happens. It's like saying, I want to get married. That's too much
But
of a
I'm
hint.
just playing out that conversation. I'm
That's too
playing out
much of
the
a
I
too
gotta
much of a
play out.
hint.
You know what? I don't know. I know. I
Too
just
much of a hint.
you,
You might as well be. Men would appreciate more just saying, you know what, I want to marry you. I'm saying, I don't know that she really wants to. She should. Is this a guy? She says he's set in his ways. Why does she want to marry him? Maybe
she,
he's a great guy. We don't even know. We don't know these people's names or hardly anything about it except what was in the question. I'd say men
well,
don't get hints. They don't.
right. That's
You
why I'm
do
saying she should say because the conversation's going to go. I don't feel like we ought to be intimate with each other until marriage.
unless we're married.
Unless
Not
so,
until.
it's basically saying I want to be married.
It's like saying, I don't know whether you want to marry me or not, but for me, I'm not doing this. But we don't want to be manipulative. It's not a good idea. It doesn't work very good. So say the rat filter, if he still stays, then she can say, I'm not comfortable with this long dating arrangement. I'm moving on. She should just move on and see what happens. If he says he wants to have, what did he say? He hopes we have many more years together. What she's describing is an affair, not a dating
That's what
relationship.
my thing felt like was a 2 year.
This is an affair, and she deserves so much more than an affair
Right.
with a guy who's older, and he just wants to have
But she wants
his
more than a
cake and
committed relationship. In the beginning, she said she wanted to be married.
she did, and then she accepted the situation as it was.
Gotcha.
So
Oh, well, you know what? I hope she watches this because we will put it on the website, and I hope that she can follow up with us and let us know how it goes.
and we wish all the best for her because
Yes.
she didn't realize I'm sure she went into it with the best of intentions and everything, but we don't know this guy. Decide for yourself. Look at this guy. Is he a guy that you want to be the father to your children? For
Yes.
one thing?
Mhm.
Is he that dedicated? I mean, he's in this thing for 2 years and doesn't seem to have stepped up to the plate. Your kids are 2 years older than they were when you met him.
Yeah.
So this isn't high school and college dating.
Yeah.
This is not the same.
Yeah. When you're our age. Well, great question. Thank you for sharing that with us, Dixie. Dixie takes comments on the website, by the way. Just ask Dixie. She is always answering your questions, even there, not only on the closed Facebook group. So
Yeah, I do. And sometimes we'll take those and make a video out of it because this question, I thought, there's other people that probably have situations like this. So
if only I had met you a long time ago.
What is that? Rat filter.
I know, you would have saved me. But I was still reading FW back then. I just didn't know how to put it in place.
The rat filter is so great, but we have to be
that
careful.
wasn't.
That's a foundational rat filter question. There's many more aspects to it, but we have to be careful with that, not to be like, I'm so much superior to every man, and realize that just because we see something that looks a little suspicious doesn't mean we're going to say he's not perfect, so therefore, we have to, what it means is we investigate further.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Timeless to come out, because I know that you talk all about this, and then we can have more videos about it. So anybody,
that'll be so fun. Yeah.
Yes. So thank you, Dixie, and everybody watching. Please like, comment, and share. We appreciate you watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.